Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.
Hello, and welcome to Question Reality. I'm Priscilla Leona, producer and host of this show, and we are coming to you live, from Los Angeles, California. For 11 years, we have been providing our audience with entertainment industry career advice. Now, this show is for you. If you are currently questioning your career reality, see how I spun that? Questioning your career out. I'm so brilliant. Yes. About pursuing a career in show business. So some of the guests on our show are Emmy winners, Grammy winners, Tony Award winners, reality TV stars, producers, directors, casting directors, talent managers, actors, singers, comedians, writers, PR agents, screenwriters. Let's see who else. Script supervisors, stunt people, and we throw in an entertainment attorney around December. The list goes on and on and on. If you missed any of our shows, there are 3 ways that you can listen to them. Number 1, you can go to our archive page, which is on latalkradio.com on the website, and search for our show title, which is Question Reality. Number 2, you can go to iTunes, the Google Play Store, Stitcher.com, and look under the podcast section, and we're there. And lastly, which I would highly suggest, you download our free mobile app. And of course, you can get that on the App Store or the Google Play Store, because there are so many great shows. When you download that free LA Talk Radio mobile app, there are so many shows that I'd love for you to explore. Super fun hosts discussing really exciting and informative topics. And there's just something for everyone on LA Talk Radio. So highly suggest that. Finally, if you want to be a guest or refer someone to be on my show who works professionally already in the entertainment industry, they can come on the show and promote themselves, their products, and just help listeners with sage career advice. And we're currently booking for the fall and winter of 2019. So in order to do that, they have to go to the official website. That is questionrealityradioshow.com. Questionrealityradioshow.com, not latalkradio.com. That's the radio station. So we air the show, of course, 24 hours a day. It's a darn website. So please go and submit for guest consideration. Oh, it's on the contact link page. So that's where you got to go. All right. Now, we have had this guest on before a couple years ago, and we got so many text and responses because he is a hot little sexy thing. You know, I try to bring as many hot, sexy guys on as possible. My friend's like, why do you not book anyone that's over 40? I'm like, are you kidding? I'm shooting for 30. I'll go 35, but you know, I have my limits here. I try to get the hot sexies. He was on the show a couple years ago. His name is Jeremy Parsons, and I want you to go to his website now. It's jeremyparsonsmusic.com, and that's JEREMYPARSONS music.com. He's also on Facebook under Jeremy Parsons Music, Twitter under JM Parsons Music, Instagram jmpickinfool, that's jmpickinfool. He's on Spotify, iTunes, and of course YouTube. He's everywhere you want to be. That is where Jeremy is. And we are so excited also. Oh, wait, before we go, to that, I wanted to let you know that we're going to be playing 2 of his songs today, one around 5:30 and one around 5:45. And these songs are so fantastic. You are going to love them. Oh, one of them, you're going to need a Kleenex. The other one, it's like you better put your disco shoes on because it's a party song. Really fantastic. So you don't want to miss those 2 songs. Also, returning on this show from a galaxy far, far away, and also a very long time ago, is our co-host for today. Her name is Stefanie Selai. Isn't that the fantastic name? Stefanie Selai. It's like she's a porn queen. All right, Stefanie Selai. She is a professional singer, actress, and today she's going to be asking questions on behalf of newly planted Nashville residents on how to break into the music biz. So please consider going to both of your social media sites and giving them little thumbs up and following them to help support their social media digital footprint. And you know how thirsty we are for those little thumbs these days, making us like maniacs. We're like panicking. Did I get a thumb today? Well, I always want a thumb, but in a good way. So her site is Stefanie on Facebook, Stefanie Selai, Stefanie Selai, Selai. She's also on Instagram at Stefanie Grace Selai and at Stefanie Selai. So please go there. Let me tell you a real quick, really brief bio on Jeremy. Born in San Antonio, Texas, and he grew up soaking in the sounds of the Texas music dance halls. Ooh, I've never been to a dance hall. I've always wanted to go. I don't know what goes on in there, but I hear it's like wild, kinky, sexy things. There's a lot of sexy time going on in those dance halls. So we got to find out if Jeremy's participating in sexy time at the dance hall. He was always a fan of music, but this is interesting. This is what I found most interesting about reading his bio. It wasn't until his later high school years that he discovered that he had a knack for being like a singer-songwriter. So he just developed this passion and he taught himself to play guitar and he began writing and performing music. And over, I guess, the past 10 years, he's played all over the U.S. and in Europe, including numerous venues in Texas, because, you always want to go back home. And he, pulling from the example of Texas performance artist, Jeremy loves to interact with his audience. And I hear, the women love to interact with him too. He's captivating the crowd and he has this genuine personality and he's got unique humor. And boy, the women are just licking their chops when he's coming on. They are licking their chops. They're looking at him like a cartoon wolf. They're just licking their chops thinking, woo la la, Jeremy is here. I'm going to be riding that. Oh, let's not get dirty. Let's keep this PG. Okay. So what Jeremy does is he draws from his personal experience and creates these songs, and they're just so perceptive and meaningful. And I couldn't choose when I was trying to decide on a second song. I just couldn't choose which one that I wanted to play. But I'm going to tell you the names. You have to tune in. But Jeremy, he's really rocking the Casbah up the charts. He has a single that I think it was the first single from his latest album was Things I Need to Say, and it was the top 40 Roots Music Report and Indie World Report track, which was called Burn This House Down, rather. And it's a fantastic song. I love this one too. I tell you, if you get his album, you will not know which song to listen to first because they're all so great. Now that song was followed up by Why Is the Bluebird Blue, which is also a top 40 Roots Report Americana single. And Bluebird reached number 2 on the Hits You Love pop charts. And here's what I think is great. We're going to talk about this. how smart this was. I don't know if he came up with the idea or if he has on his team, if they came up with the idea, but I highly recommend this for every single singer and songwriter. The videos, making videos for your songs. The videos for both the songs were nominated and selected for numerous film festivals, including the Jersey Shore Film Festival. Yay, Jersey Shore! Some of the best times of my life on spring break. Also, Indy's Best Film Festivals and the Monkey Bread Tree Film Festival, which is an IMDb sanctioned film festival. So smart to enter your music videos. Just a little tip now. Excellent idea to enter them into film festivals. I'll explain why a little bit later. Now, Jeremy currently resides and performs in Music City, USA, Nashville, Tennessee. That's where the heartbeat of America is, from what I understand, with country music. Now, our co-host today is Stefanie Selai. She is a singer and an actress from Savannah, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia. Stefanie has been working really, really hard as a professional singer and actress for the past 10 years. She attended the American Musical and Dramatic Academy in New York and LA. And her first professional job as a choir member was for the 75th anniversary of the Lost Colony, where she worked alongside Tony Award winner William Ivy Long. We all know William Ivy Long. You know musical theater, you know him. Now, Stefanie has also worked as a demo and session singer with a variety of musical producers, including two of her favorites, H.B. Barnum and Edward Brown. And also she worked with Holland, Dozier and Holland. And they created the studio recordings of the Broadway musical First Wives Club. Who didn't love that movie? Stefanie was lead alto singer for the popular a cappella group Westbeat, which performs regularly at Disneyland. And recently, which is why we thought she was a perfect co-host for today, she recently moved to Nashville to continue her career as a professional session demo singer, an actress, and she is currently under contract with the Gaylord Opryland Hotel for their Smurfest summer event, and that goes through Labor Day. I don't know what that entails, but I totally want to be there. Who wouldn't want to be at Smurfest? Now, after she finishes that job, she is going to be joining the Heimerman. How was it? Heimerman or Himmerman? How do you choose it? Chorale as a soprano for their fall concert series. And Stefanie is so excited to be joining the Tennessee Performing Arts Center as a teaching artist. A lot of people are going to be like, what's a teaching artist? That sounds like a cool job. So we'll find out what Stefanie is going to be doing as a teaching artist. So without further ado, welcome Jeremy Parsons and Stefanie Selai.
Thanks
you.
For having
Woo! There's going to be some overlapping today. Oh my gosh. Well, let me tell you, I just closed my sheet. I cannot believe I just did this. We're going to do what's called winging, because guess what I did? I dropped the mouse, and all my questions that I took so long to write have been closed. So I'm going to have to wing this really quickly. Let me see if I can find it. Hold on there, guys. Very professional over here. All right, here we go. I'm back. Okay, so Jeremy, first of all, congratulations on your recent album, Making Things Up As I Go. And I love that music video for that song. It is so funny. And it looks really professional, Jeremy, really like almost MTV quality. And what I loved most was those special effects with the rocket ship. So my first question is, who created that darn music video? Who was the director? Because I want to say excellent job.
Heck yeah. No, he always does an excellent job. He's one of my best friends in the entire world. His name is PJ Schenkel, and his company is Three Hat Media, and he just goes he goes all out for me and every artist he works with. But that's that's I mean, not only because it's my video, but it's probably one of my favorite things I've ever seen him make. But he's an absolute wizard. I have a theory that he can just make everybody look cool. It's just his gift.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to hire him for some work, because I own a film production company, and I do music videos as well, and I do short films and feature films. So who knows? You gotta pass me on. Send me his contact information, because I think we're gonna hire him. He does great work. Love that. Okay.
I definitely will.
Okay. Now, I highly recommend that everybody check out this video on YouTube. It's under jmpickinfool, or you can just type the title of the song, which is Making Things Up As I Go, and make sure you give it a like and consider following Jeremy's channel. Oh, you're going to love this video. It is so funny. Really fun music video. Now, over the past decade, Jeremy, you've played all over the US and Europe, and the first single from your latest album, I believe, is Things I Need to Say, was at as I said earlier, the top 40 Roots Music Report in the Indie World Report track. I did Burn This House Down. So my question is, what did you think about that when you first heard the news?
Well, it's always kind of like, weird, because it's like, I mean, I don't think I've ever made music for the thought of like, oh man, this is going to be the biggest thing in the world and nobody's going to be able to quit talking about it. I think I really connect with the song when I write it, and then when it comes to life, like that's already like the coolest thing that's happened to me as far as that song goes. And then when it gets out there and people receive it, like if they love it as much as I did, like when I created it and like when I wrote it and when we went in the studio and produced it, it's like it's the connecting point between the artist and the fan, and it's just so flattering when people are or loving the thing that you love to do. So I mean, there's really nothing like that. It's kind of almost hard to describe unless you just like and have felt it. That's a very specific high that comes from that.
Right. Now, looking back, Jeremy, what would you have done differently that would have improved, enhanced the overall experience? What wouldn't you have done? Give us a little tip about that.
As far as the recording process, or
the recording.
I mean, honestly, like I'm such a stickler, and the people that I work with are like pretty much the exact same way, that when it comes to music, I don't leave a single regret behind me. So like honestly, this project is like one of my favorite things I've ever done, and it took us like 2.5 years to make it. So it's like there's honestly not one thing I would do differently, because like when I still am forced to listen to my own music, it's like one of those things which is always kind of uncomfortable for the artist, especially in a room. Everyone listens to Jeremy's song. I was like, I'm sitting right here. But it's like one of those things. I don't regret anything. And like when that does happen, I'm able to like remember how it felt to be in there, and like how it felt to like find this like sweet spot in between the drums and the slide guitar or something, and be like, oh, I love the way this melody fits in here. Like it still sounds right. I mean, my voice has gotten stronger, and my guitar playing's gotten better and stuff, as you always want to grow as an artist. But so if something was different, maybe that would be it. But I was like, I love looking back. It's like kind of like 13-track memory. Like it's crazy.
Hey, that's a song title, 13-track memory. I got a song title. Now, why is the Bluebird blue? It also reached number 2 on the hits You Love Pop charts. So the videos for both songs were nominated and selected for numerous film festivals, as I said. And what I I was thinking to myself, what a smart man you are for entering your music videos into film festivals. And I personally, I'm a judge and screener for the Burbank International Film Festival and NSAEN. And I always try to encourage singers and songwriters to make a music video for each song and enter them into film festivals because of the huge exposure that you will receive. But also, it's an excellent opportunity for filmmakers to hear your music and hire you to create an original song for their next film project or ask you to use one from your music catalog. So, but you know what, Jeremy? A lot of singer-songwriters don't make the business connection and they miss out on the opportunity. So my question is, how did you find out about doing this for your music videos?
So I was very ignorant to that too, probably up until like 2 years ago. All the credit for that goes to Michael Stover. Yeah, he's got all those contacts. Like he's the genius behind that.
Isn't he brilliant?
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of my favorite things about him is that he does things so differently.
Yes.
Like it's
yes.
not like like the industry is very like they want to go to these places that it's like a very he goes through weird channels which I really respect. Like it's very unusual, like these side roads that you'd never even think of. Like it's great. But
yeah,
it gets
he thinks outside the box, right? He is
absolutely.
I everybody who is starting out in this business and they need a team. You cannot do anything without a team. And I always say, if you want anyone to help you, go to Michael Stover because he doesn't just focus on one thing. He helps you in so many different areas. And he's just such a wonderful resource because, as you said, he has excellent connections in the music business and he really is professional. Like, this is a man, if you would email him at 3:00 in the morning, he would return your email like in 5 minutes. I mean, you don't find this, right, Jeremy?
No, you don't. Not in this industry. Everyone's so like. I mean, he's one of the hardest working people I know in this industry. It's everyone like as they work their butt off to get a specific job and then they stop working. I was like, he does not stop.
I know. So Mike, everybody, if you're in the music business, MTS Management, Michael Stover, check it out. Okay. So so do you have any kind of tips or advice for any other singer-songwriters about what they should know about entering their music videos in the film festival? Or did he do it for you and you never dealt with that aspect? So, you couldn't give any tips about the music video aspect.
Well, sometimes I would submit that he does it a majority of the time, but there's some things like when the video gets to a certain level, I have to upload like an MP4 and then present them with a synopsis. I would say like when you're working on the music video, like say whether it's in your phone or your notes, like your thought process for the music video in like a summary that really sums it up, because that synopsis is a really good selling point for people.
That's right.
As far as the description of the video, and make sure that you're keeping track of where you filmed, like locations, because all that they include it all, and it's kind of stuff it's kind of an afterthought because you're just focused on like who am I in this scene, hashtag acting, whatever.
Right. They don't think about that, right?
Yeah, there's so many like key details that I learned about like video to video because of that submission process. And the synopsis thing was probably the most important to me. Like it's like when someone asks me what a song's about, like I have to be able to present that as the writer. Otherwise you just look like an absolute idiot.
No, you're right. And a little tip behind the scenes, being a judge and a screener for 2 film festivals, do you know that we will choose, if it comes down to 4 videos and only one of them, and they're all comparatively about the same, we'll choose the one who has the more information and has that summary. That's just a little tip. That's just a little tip for
Yeah.
people entering film festivals. It's very important that you enter that
Yeah.
because it's the selling point. A lot of times people don't have time to be watching a whole music video. So we want to see what is it about and does it click? So now I understand that you are currently on tour promoting the album and you're in Texas right now through the end of the month. And being from Texas, I would imagine this is your favorite place to perform. So, do you sneak in a visit with the family or friends, or do they come to your show when you're in Texas? What's going on?
Man, it's always like up and down. Like we come back every every couple months or when we can. But yeah, I actually stay with my dad. Like that's one of my favorite things about other than I get to do what I love. Like I love coming hanging with my dad. We have a very small family, so it's like I get to see my sister, my brother-in-law, and my nephew, and my other sister who lives close by. But I mean, that's probably one of my favorite parts about doing it is that I get to come chill with my dad. He's like one of my favorite humans ever.
Oh,
So it's just an extra added bonus of like you get to do what you love and you get to hang out with people you love too. It's like you can't
yeah,
beat that.
like going home. So, what's going on with the tour as far as how long is the rest of the tour? I know it's the end of the month for Texas, but how long have you been on the tour and where are you going next?
We've been bouncing around now for since the beginning of this year. And next after we'll be in Texas till August, and after that we're back in Texas again in September. It's pretty much being exclusively Texas because I'm in the process of working on a new record as well, which I'm very stoked about. So we're kind of just bouncing back and forth between Nashville and Texas because we have I have so many people that I know down here, and there's so many venues. Like we can come down here and have some fun. I can catch up with my family. We can make some money, then bounce back and work on the record and do
Well,
my thing and down.
let me ask you, why did you move to Nashville? Because you could have pretty much started your career in Texas. Why move to Nashville? Is it because, oh, it's the music capital, blah, 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 or why did you move to Nashville?
I mean, it's kind of like a coin flip type of thing in my mind. Is that I was like I was way closer to Austin, and that's the home base for here. Like Austin is the Nashville of Texas. They would hate me if I said that to their face. So,
Okay.
but Texas and Nashville, it's got a weird thing for a while. But so what I noticed at the time that I was down here writing and playing music and just doing my thing, I was kind of in school at the time too. So I would have more dates in the summer, and like a couple friends and I would just travel around. But what I noticed was all of the guys were spending the guys who were more seasoned, like the vets and stuff like Pat Green and Jack Ingram, they were spending 10 years doing their thing in Austin or Dallas or Houston, and then they would inevitably go to Nashville, and that was like a domino effect. So I was like, you know what, I'll like cut out 10 years in Austin and I'll put in 10 years in Nashville, and I would have been like a couple steps ahead of the process.
Right. And how long have you been in Nashville now?
10 years.
Oh, you have? Oh, 10 years.
Yeah.
10 years. Wow.
Yeah.
And when you got to Nashville, I mean, is it everything you thought it was? Do you feel like you could have done more? You aren't doing enough. You're doing just enough. Is Nashville a place that you'd recommend now that you've been there 10 years? Is that a place where you feel like you'd recommend if you want to be a country music artist?
Yeah, I mean, I would say specifically if you're trying to do like a more mainstream thing, like Nashville is, they wanna be putting out like the hottest thing, like whether it's pop country or whatever. That stuff isn't necessarily my cup of tea. I have a lot of like really close friends that make it, but it's never where I've leaned to as an artist. So I would say like, honestly, if you want to do something that's more folky or like songwritery, like, yeah, there's spots in Nashville you can do that. but inevitably you're probably going to want to find your way somewhere else where they would appreciate it more. I think they're just looking for a specific flair in Nashville, and if that's what you want, I say it's the place to land. But as far as like if you're like a singer-songwriter, folk artist, Americana, like that is like the home base for the scene. I think it's Nashville's turned into more of like a base, and like everyone's just kind of rolling out of it because it's like downtown's turned into Vegas. Like it's nuts.
Wow.
So all the artists are kind of turned off by that, and you find we see every day on like Instagram or Facebook, we see more and more of our friends either like coming down to Texas or going to like a different town in Tennessee or like traveling out of state to do just like shows in the Midwest so they can like get out of the city for a while.
Wow.
It's funny how I mean, but if you're into that, then there's like, which there are a lot of people that are, it caters perfectly to that. Like you can find a gig downtown and play like a bunch of like new stuff. Like if you listen to it and like to play it, and you can make a pretty good amount of money too.
Well, we are going to we've come to my favorite time of the show, which is to play one of your songs. I'm so excited. I love this song, Jeremy. As a matter of fact, even though I already have the song, I'm going to go on iTunes and I'm going to buy it. I'm going to give you that $1.29 that you deserve. Right?
Yeah, I think we only get like 60 cents or something.
Isn't
It's
that
probably
something? Isn't that terrible? Man.
Well, it's more than I would have had if the song didn't exist.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Good point. Okay, so we're going to play that. I just want real quick, because we're already 4 minutes behind schedule. It's my fault. What is the song about really quick? Because, we like the backstory.
Is this Life?
Life,
is that right?
Yeah, Life. Mm-hmm.
It pretty much, I was in a spot in my, not to quote the title, but Life, that I was trying to work my way through it, and it was kind of, it's both, the song is driven by industry and also driven by other life happenings, and it's basically my coping way of having a conversation with myself of like, it's like there's a lot of things that happen to us, but the inevitable fact is that it is life, and we actually never make it out of that very specific thing. It's like we have one of it. It is what it is. There's all this stuff happening. It's like it's a very dark reality song. Is probably the best way to describe it, because it pulls no punches.
Yeah, I love it.
I
love it. Okay, so without further ado, we are going to listen to the first of two songs that'll be played today on the show. This is called Life by Jeremy Parsons.
The only dream I've had had been in the daytime. Anything to get away from the straight line that I walk, with all the medicated masses, creative minds outlined in chalk. I've always bordered on the edge of something. My mind goes where very few dare to tread. Is it wrong that I'm dying, trying hard to live? So I bend and break my back for a world that just won't give a little bit. With doors closed on open minds, and you can be comfortable, but you ain't safe inside. No, we'll never make it. Oh, you'll never make it out alive. No, we never make it out of this crazy thing called life. Just another puppet on the public string, Whatever happened to being who you wanna be? It's also irrational with unrealistic views. They light the hoop on fire and expect you to jump through. With doors closed on open minds, and you can be comfortable, but you ain't safe inside. No, we never make it. Oh, we never make it out alive. No, we never make it out of this crazy thing called life. Oh, the real world's what it is and what it ain't. It's insignificant, but it's everything. With doors closed on open minds, and you can be comfortable, but you ain't safe inside. No, we'll never make it. No, we'll never make it out alive. No, we'll never make it out of this crazy thing called life. Yeah, this crazy thing called life. Yeah, this crazy thing called life.
Woo! Oh my God! That is so beautiful. And you know what? We're not gonna let you hear the rest of the song. You're gonna have to go to iTunes and pay $1.29 and get that song, right, Jeremy?
Heck yeah. I mean, I can't force you
Oh,
to do it.
so beautiful. I love that bend that you have on the word life and the surrounding lyrics. It's so beautiful. I have a napkin. I got a dab. Stephanie, wasn't that song fantastic?
Yes, it was. You have a very soothing voice, a very calming voice that you can just roll your windows down and get on a highway and drive and listen to. It was great.
Yeah, with a
Oh.
scarf, maybe a little doobie. Yeah.
Oh, Priscilla. Well, you're in
Man,
California. That's all legal.
Ooh, yeah, that's legal here. We don't have to look out for the popo over here. There's marijuana just circling around everywhere you go. Oh my gosh. Okay, so Stephanie, as I said, Jeremy, she has just moved to Nashville. She's new to Nashville. She is pursuing a career as a demo session singer, from what I understand. So she has a lot of questions she wants to ask, but we only can let you get 3 because we got to get that last song in there. So Stephanie, go to it, girl.
Sure. So one of my main questions that I've actually heard from some other contacts of mine here is that a lot of work is done at home rather than studios. Do you find that to be true? Are singers kind of taking things into their own hands and making their own studios at home rather than going into the bigger studios and record labels?
absolutely. Yeah, that's been like a new thing, I would say, as far as like, I mean, you'll see so much of the old homes, like they'll convert the basements or whatever, and like they're going and buying their own like eggshell foam stuff, because it's just like everyone gets to a point, if you've been there long enough and you keep paying for demos, that they'll like, you know, it's like, I guess kind of, I mean, musicians are like notoriously like, it's a funny cliche that they're usually broke. So like it kind of fits the whole like, you know, scheme
Right.
of them as people. So it's
Right.
it's more a joke, I guess. But I mean, but the that being said, as far as like being a demo singer, those guys will usually pull in. Like what it ends up turning into when people do stuff like that, they usually end up being like the thing that made them create that in the first place. So their home studio turns into a thing that they end up charging people for anyway, because they're like, hey, I can make money off this. Why not utilize it? So, I mean,
Okay.
you end up just end up in a home studio instead of a studio because they still need demo singers for tracks. Like I have a bunch of friends that go over to like there's a bunch of houses on the east side that have been converted to studios. They end up
getting. Go ahead.
No, that was my bad. They end up doing like the same thing, just in a different location. It's really funny, actually. But
so for someone like me who is moving from another city, who hasn't really established themselves here as a session singer, but definitely has worked as one, how do you cross that bridge, getting into that inner circle where people know who you are, so that they can pull you?
I think it's literally just like a time deal. Like it doesn't hurt to go out and network, which like in Nashville is pretty much very similar to bar hopping. I've noticed that over the past 10 years when people say like, fingerprints, I'm going to go network, they usually show back up very drunk. So it's just like, it's one of, if you go out, like people, one successful thing I've always seen is like, a specific type of business card doesn't hurt. Like not a normal like type of business card. Make a business card that's kind of an awkward square, so people don't fold it up and put it in their wallet. They put it in their pocket because it doesn't fit in their wallet. And you put like your name and your contact, probably not your phone number, but maybe like an email, and put like, if you need a demo singer, like just hit me up. And that's like a way to get in there too. Like sometimes they don't. It's like, hey, I this girl gave me your card. I haven't heard her voice, but maybe it could work. So it's like there's ways to do it like that. There's also like downtown gigs. I've seen a lot of people, like someone will walk in a bar, like if someone's looking for a specific voice on a demo, they might go browse downtown. And they'll walk by all the windows, and they're like, oh, that's what I need. I need, I need someone who sounds like Miranda Lambert. That girl's perfect. Like, that's another good way to do it, because they can hear you. They can find you from the street almost like that. But that, I mean,
so
that's another way through the industry.
Okay. And so would you say it's important to sound like what is on the radio now, rather than being a versatile singer that can sort of be a jack of all trades, Jill of all trades, singing and doing any genre?
No, I think, and that's what's cool about the downtown gig, is that you're covering so many people's songs that, like, in that situation, if they heard one song that they like, they would probably be interested in your versatility. They're like, can I use this girl for multiple tracks? Or is she just like someone who sounds like this, but I can use one? So if you present yourself as kind of like a female vocalist Swiss Army knife, like there's going to be more things that are focused on you. And I think that's the one thing about the downtown gig that works, is like you're up there singing from anywhere to like 2 to 4 hours, and like you get to show all your different shades, which is cool.
Okay.
So would you recommend, Jeremy, like she go to like the Bluebird, and do they have like an open mic night or something like that, or they don't do that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Bluebird has it's either Sunday or Monday. I can't remember the actual day. I want to say it's a Sunday, but like there's a long line there and stuff like that. I mean, there's so many open mics around town. I mean, the Bluebird is obviously like very prestigious, but you wait in line for like 3 hours to sing one song.
Oh gosh. Any other place other than the Bluebird that you would recommend that's less traffic-y?
As far as like an open mic, yeah, I mean, you can honestly probably go on Google and put open mics in Nashville. And I mean, like the only thing there, I don't know if do you play guitar as well?
No, I'm just specifically a trained singer. I can plunk out a little bit on the piano, but no, I don't really play an instrument.
Yeah, she's not a songwriter. She's just a singer. Like she would sing songs if you have.
Correct.
So I would recommend, a good thing to find would be someone like that if you happen to know anybody, or someone knows anybody, like someone you can trust that you can be close with, that could play acoustic guitar for you.
There you go.
that would really put a lot behind it, because it's like if you don't play guitar, it's like you got to have that accompaniment, because it's just a whole nother level. I mean, acapella has always been impressive to me, but like some people don't have the ear to be like, oh, she's actually hitting the note without anybody playing anything. Like most people don't have that. They want to see the show, you know?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, sorry to cut you off, but we got to get Jeremy's song in there. Maybe what you could do is when Jeremy, hey, what about if when he comes back to Nashville, would you be open to meeting Stefanie for like coffee or something? And she has some more questions.
Absolutely.
Would you?
I love coffee and I love conversation.
Well, there you go. So Stefanie, hit him up on Facebook and you guys make an appointment. When are you going to be back in Nashville?
I'll be back the 1st of August.
Okay, so Stefanie, reach out to Jeremy. You guys have coffee and he'll hook you up, girl. He'll tell you where to go, what to do.
I definitely will. Thank you. It's very nice to meet you, Jeremy.
Yeah, good to meet you too, Stephanie. I'll be looking forward to coffee.
All right, so we are going to end the show with the hot song. Get your disco shoes on. Get that ball going, because now it's happening. This is the song that we have been waiting for. It's called Making Things Up As I Go by Jeremy Parsons, and you got to go to iTunes and buy it right now because it's hot. Jeremy, take us out on this song, Making It Up As I Go. You seem to be that type of guy. I want you to. You already kind of told what the song is about, didn't you? Did we do the backstory?
Yeah. It's almost like one of those things that just like describes itself. Like I've always been. I'm a head in the clouds type of ADHD nation type of kid. So it was one of those things. Like I feels like I just literally walk into things looking up at the sky, and I look down, and I was like, all right, improv, here we go.
There it is.
It's like life happens. What else are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? All right, Jeremy, say goodbye to your fans, because we got to get that music playing. We got 1 minute. Say goodbye to your fans, Jeremy.
Hey, thank y'all so much for listening and hanging out. I love y'all. Thanks for all the support always. And go check out the music video. It just came out last Friday. And I appreciate you two so much for having this show and having me back on. I can't wait to be back on again.
Woo! You know that invitation's going to be checked off. We're going to have you on next time you want to promote your projects. You make sure you get in touch with me, sweetie. And so now, without further ado, go to his website, jremyparsonsmusic.com. Go to Stefanie Selai. It's Stefanie Selai Facebook. And now we're going to close the show out with Making Things Up As I Go by Jeremy Parsons. We'll see you next week on Question Reality. Bye.
My front door, and I hope it goes my way. And if it doesn't, well then there's nothing I could have done. Ain't nothing I can do but take it as it comes. So I'm making things up as I go, off the cuff and so out of my control. Something new. Why we sit and wonder why these questions go unanswered like they do.
You're listening to Question Reality with Priscilla Leona, right here on LA Talk Radio.